All right, you're back to Wake Up and Smell the Coffee with Tim and Paul and our special guest, Larry Steiner, a trustee from Harwood Heights. Today's show, once again, is being brought to you by Benefits Age, the source for all your medical, life, dental, and disability insurance needs. For a personal or group quote, call 800-317-0181 or go online to www.benefitsage.com. And we have a caller we're going to bring in quick. Joe, you out there? Joe? Uh-oh. Come on, Ivan. You know, he's great with the board. The whole telephone thing still eludes him a little bit. He's pressing buttons like crazy.
He's still got to dial the numbers on this one. You have to put 10 cents in it.
One ringy dingy, two ringy dingy. Joe, you there? All right, you know what? We'll come back to Joe.
He going.
He going. He going. Hawkism. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw this back to Tim. We were really getting onto the some of these tax issues. So I'll look back to Tim.
Well, going into the question that you had asked about why is it 8,000, and in Norwich you said it's 4 times, 5 times bigger than New Mexico, and why is that, and does it make sense to pool the resources? And it sounds like, again, not knowing anything about it, sounds like they have pooled the resources and they have brought things together. But I'm more interested in how does it go when we send our federal dollars to Washington, or we send our real estate or our state taxes to Springfield or to Cook County, because Cook County has their separate thing. Does some of it come back to Harwood Heights? Is there a formula that comes back? How does that work?
Yeah, we do get county money, state money, federal money. Some things we get in the form of grants. Our mayor has been very aggressive in pursuing grants. Our chief of public safety for our police department, he's been just so great at tracking down these grants and getting them to so we can update our computer systems and the squad cars and things of that nature. So
You got to do a bunch of legwork in order to get these.
oh yeah. You got to jump through all the hoops, and it takes some diligence, but fortunately we have people that take the initiative and are doing the legwork to secure these funds for our residents.
Let me put you. I mean, you may not know the answer. I've never been able to find the answer to this question, so don't feel bad if you don't know the answer. What does the county do? What does the county?
They hire all their family members to high-paying jobs. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, as far as the government, let's not get into buying the office furniture and the patronage and all the other stuff. But what does the county do? Because I have a very good friend of mine who's a Cook County commissioner, and I tried to explain to him that, you know what, nobody even knows that the Cook County is alive other than what they read about Todd Stroger. And the only thing you ever hear about the county is you hear about the Cook County sheriffs, obviously, and Dorothy Brown running around like, which she does. But as far as Cook County government, what do they really do? Do they fill the holes? As far as you had mentioned about the streets, the sidewalks, the highways, the state highways. I know there's county highways out by me, but really, what does the county do? The county government, I mean.
Yeah, I believe it's like an overlap of a lot of municipalities. Cook County is the largest county in the state, obviously. I mean, they have the Cook County Hospital. They provide that. I'm sure there is a reason for it.
Don't feel bad because you're not alone. Many people don't know.
Unfortunately, a lot of the things that we do here are the waste that goes on in the patronage and the jobs that exist just to draw a paycheck for someone where they show up a couple times a week to punch in or something and I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could do a couple shows on that, but as far as a trustee of Harwood Heights, do you ever interact with the county? I mean, is there anything that, other than, like I said, the sheriff and the court systems and that kind of thing, do you ever get really affected by the county or anything that happens?
Yeah, we work with our Cook County Commissioner.
Who's that?
Pete Silvestri.
Okay, I know. He's the mayor of the city, too.
Mayor of Elmwood Park, I believe. So we have a good working relationship with them.
I just want to throw this in. One of the things, I think if you listen to one of the questions I asked Larry, I was sort of questioning why we needed a local government for a 1 square mile area. And to be very honest, I said, boy, this is redundant. This and that. And then when Larry, I got to tell you, when you said that they open up every meeting, the first 30 minutes for the constituents to come out and actually speak directly to you, and you guys were responsive to it, all I could think was that's government how it's supposed to work. And that people are supposed to be able to come out and talk directly to their elected officials, and the elected officials have to look them in the eye and respond to them. So, you know, I just got sort of my opinion changed. I'm honest, I was sitting there going, boy, this is a little redundant. Why isn't, Norridge and Norwood Park, why isn't it a little bit bigger thing? But I love the fact that you guys don't have your own park district. You share that with Norridge. You co-opt the fire department. But there's a lot of things that you guys.
The library.
The library is in Harwood Heights. We have a brand new Eisenhower Public Library, beautiful facility, and it's part of the suburban library district. So I mean, we share resources with whatever, like same with the fire department, whatever's in our group. I mean, if you're a member of Des Plaines Public Library, if we have sharing rights, you can come to our library, take out a book with your Des Plaines card.
To me, that's really, I don't know, that sounds like government as it's supposed to be, where you can go see your direct elected official, and it sounds like you guys are interacting in a positive way with the other parts, the bigger parts, even your other your peers that are nearby. This sounds like it makes sense to me.
Is it government by the people for the people?
Well, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. So I was just glad to hear that people actually can come and look you guys in the eye and say, hey, I voted for you, or even if I didn't vote for you, this is what's important to me, and that you as their elected official are going to bat for me. That's what the government's supposed to be.
You work for me.
Yeah.
Give me a glass of water.
Which I guess you're hearing me left-handed say that I don't think that as government gets bigger and bigger and further away, that they do get out of touch. So I'm real glad to hear that.
Maybe it just sparked when I moved out to the burbs. I lived in Palatine Township, and directly across the street was Rolling Meadows. And Rolling Meadows had water. We were on a septic field, and we were on a well. And I remember saying, well, why don't we? They were putting the water main down the middle of the street for Rolling Meadows, and I was out there thinking maybe if I give this guy a couple $1,000, he'll run some pipes into my house. Not a big deal. I mean, he could have done it.
Yeah, how did that work out?
And well, it did work out very well. As far as I know, they still have the well there 15 years later. But I remember that there was a big thing about annexing with another village, and everybody's was like, if we annex with Rolling Meadows, our taxes are going to go through the roof. So there is a very good argument, and I've heard it before, about staying separate, staying completely separate and having control over your own thing. And I don't want to get too political, but I don't know how that whole thing with the airports affected you guys. But I know when you had smaller villages like Bensonville, and I think part of Wooddale, when the city of Chicago decided that they were going to eminent domain, they just basically took away a big tax part of Bensonville. I mean, they lost businesses, they lost homes, they lost all kinds of things. Cemeteries. I think that is still going on, actually. Yeah. So I understand why a village wants to remain completely separate than a bigger village. I mean, I don't live in Schaumburg, but boy, some of the horror stories you hear about Schaumburg. I've had to deal with Schaumburg and different things. I mean, that's like California. I mean, I'm probably in trouble now with Los Angeles, but that is definitely the land of strange behavior, Schaumburg. They march to a completely different tune than anybody I've ever seen. So I understand that, and I guess what I don't understand is all the levels of bureaucracy. You have a village, and then you have a county, then you have a state, then you have a federal government, and I've always gotten confused on exactly how does that work. One of the things that Paul and I you sent me a note. What do you get when you guys need money? What do? You raise taxes or?